Hi everyone, welcome to my page. My name is Bisola Halabi and I'm the founder of Use and Tech. Use and Tech is a platform dedicated to closing the gender gap between women and technology. So our goal is to equip today's women to participate in the digital economy space and also equip them for the future of work. So I've been doing this for the past 3 years, and a year ago I got the Global Talent visa, and I noticed that a lot of people have been making inquiries, and I totally understand because of the uniqueness of my profile basically. So I applied with two profiles, one with the Use and Tech platform that I built, and then also my previous brand, which is a fashion brand, basically. So a quick one about the Global Talent Visa. It's also known as the Technician Visa. It's a Tier 1 visa, which means that you can work with it. You can also set up a business with it. And then you can also be in and outside of the United Kingdom within six months out of 6 months, I believe. Or you can also visit the website to find out about it. It's a very fantastic visa, and I believe everyone should get the visa. So the visa is divided into two. So pardon me as I'll be going through my laptop to go through some of the highlighted information on it. So the visa is divided into two. That's the exceptional talent, the promise, and then also exceptional talent. So for talent, I think that if you've built your career in the tech industry for 5 years and above, then you are a talent. But for promise, 3 years and above, then also other industries. So for me, I fall into the promise segment because use and tech, which is like one of the mandatory criteria, is just around 3 years, you understand? And it's an educational platform, right? And then I've also had other varied experience. So which is why I fall into the talent, sorry, the exceptional promise. The exceptional promise, yes. I'll attach the link to my profile so you can read up on it. So to apply for the visa, you need to segment your evidences into mandatory and then also optional requirements. So here is what I did. I broke down my mandatory and optional requirements into about 6 categories, which is award and prize, the growth of my fashion brand, about my fashion brand, then the impact and the accelerators that I participated in, testimonials and our student stories from Use and Tech, and then my entrepreneurial contribution, then PR feature, and some of the writings and IFC reports picture. So you just might be a bit different. But what I want you to get from this video is the peculiarity. So for me, starting with the fashion brand, my fashion brand was mainly the local aspect of fashion, which is the hand-woven aspect and popularly known as Ashoke in Nigeria. In Ghana, it's a different name. In Senegal, it's a different name. But what happens is that we work with local weavers to weave this cloth. And a lot of people are wondering, so how is this a tech-enabled business? So number one, it depends on the perspective, as to your business. So the popular thing about us in Africa, especially in Nigeria, is that most of us don't really know how to position ourselves as a leader. So I've had, queries or questions as regard people saying, oh, I learned how to sew about 6 years ago, or I make my children's clothes. Do I qualify for the talent visa? Oh, I opened a shop and I just got one guy to be making clothes for me while I focus on other brands. Do I qualify? So the truth is, nobody is interested in the work that you're doing. You need to project yourself as a leader. And the first thing you need to do is understanding how to position yourself as a leader in whatever industry. And this applies to whether you're in the food industry or any industry you find yourself in. So for instance, when speaking about my brand, I don't talk about the fact that I weave clothes or I sell a show, or maybe the products, down to the products. Some will say, oh, I sell jelly because that was one of the products that we sold under the fashion brand. So how I positioned myself was that I asked to look at the words, the terminology used, in the developed country towards the fashion type of fashion that I run. It's a sustainable fashion, it's ethical fashion, right? So what I did was, I positioned myself as an ethical fashion brand, a sustainable fashion brand that helped communities of local weavers across Nigeria and West Africa to connect their goods to potential clients all over the world, leveraging technology. So basically, in English terminology, what I did was get local weavers across different states in Nigeria. Some of them here are in Lagos here, Aja to be precise. Some of them are migrants from Ghana. We have them and I work with them, working with, in communities of 5, 10, 20 families, right, with their kids and their wives. Some of them were in Shaki or your state. Some of them were at Ilori. You understand? So there were different types. So by the time you calculate the number of communities that you work with, maybe there were 10 or so, right? So emphasizing on the numbers. So and the name of the fashion brand, was Omo Aduke. For instance, so Omo Aduke is a sustainable fashion brand, that worked with local weavers community, about 30 of them in, across Nigeria, helping them, to put out their wares online through technology. And my technology was a website, which is now defunct, and a social media page. So I spoke about the fact that our website was no longer active. However, we had a social media page. So my social media page is no longer active, but it's still up. So what I did was copy the link of the social media page, right? And attach it, and then I worked closely with them to screenshot the pictures of the weavers and also put it up there, the products that we built, the fashion brands that that I designed. I put it up there, and then I also spoke about the impact that I made. One of the social contribution is that all of these people live in abject poverty, but by helping them put out their wares to subscribers all around the world, I helped increase their income, and in turn, they were able to take care of themselves and family send their kids to school. So that was how I positioned the brand. You can say that it's different from you say that, oh, I learned how to sew, I can make clothes, or I have a fashion business. No, you have to position yourself as the leader because they expect you to come in as a leader, to come and change their economy. And in so by doing that, you need to position yourself rightly. So whatever business you're building, for instance, you have to renew your mind as regards how you speak about it confidently and then position it rightly. So the mandatory criteria is, of course, the fashion brand, and then Hughes and Tech, which is an educational company. So some people say it's an edtech company, some people say it's an educational company. So I intentionally stated it's an educational company because we don't have an underlying technology. And I remember 3 years ago speaking with a lawyer in the UK, an immigrant lawyer. She outrightly told me that I did not qualify for the global talent visa because we did not have build an underlying technology. We have our LMS in control. And for some people, they always believe that for you to be in technology, you need, to build from scratch. You need to have access to your code. But for me, I believe that technology is an enabler. Whatever it is that helps you, increase your reach is what it should be the goal of the technology. I mean, we are a bootstrapped company. My job is to manage the company resource. We would not be building an LMS, spend all our profits, all our funds building an LMS, you understand, when we do not have external funding from investors. So I gave up about 3 years ago, but I revisited it again last year. So it's important because there are some limitations that people would have spoken about your evidences. You might have to revisit it and find a way to tweak it. So for us, we have third party LMS that we use, technologies that we use for our LMS, which is also unique to us. We screenshot it and showed the data, the number of students, to show you the number of the students that that enrolled, the number of courses that is on the platform, the completion rates, in fact, their certificates. All of those data were things that I showed as evidence, as a mandatory criteria. Then also, as a leader, as a founder of Use and Tech, I was invited to some speaking engagement. if you are invited to a speaking engagement, ensure that you get, the flyer. Ensure that you get the flyer. Ensure that you get the link if it's a virtual, event recording for purposes. Ensure that you take pictures. It's very important, and document them. It's very, very important. If you've not been invited to an event, you can organize something, amongst your friends and invite like a keynote speaker. Ensure you also contribute. You are a leader. You need to show that you are a thought leader in the space. All of those things are things that I submitted, evidences that I submitted. Also, the award. I received an award, in the development space, African women in the development space, for my contribution towards education, fight for poverty, and then, because this getting women into decent work. So for you, if you've not received an award, for instance, you can watch out for different nominations. It's always up. Tell your friends to nominate you. Tell them to vote for you. You deserve it because you are hardworking, you are smart, and you are doing good work. So you should work towards it. It's not about being humble right now. It's about, proof, because the world needs you to prove that you are a leader. So those are the things that I submitted. And then also, if you have a play, you can, some job certificates, you can also do that. Then published articles. So sometimes I write my thoughts on, topics peculiar to my industry, and ensure that it's on a popular blog, because you need to talk about the numbers. For instance, some of my articles are on Bella Niger. It's one of the, major media room in Nigeria, you understand, and in Africa. Same with Vanguard. If you talk about the fact that it's top one or top two or top three, then the optional criteria, product development, and I also spoke about our finances, basically. So I'm going to be speaking about that later. So for the award, I spoke about the fact that I got one in the development stage. Then for some of our students are in the diaspora, right? So by sit stats, we got into the semi-finalists, celebrating the impact of our diaspora, students. You understand? So some of them got jobs, some of them are working in global organizations. If you're thinking about it, when they get jobs, they send the money back home. So that's one of the aspects of the contribution that you're doing, because we are equipping them here in Nigeria, they're getting that job over there, and then they're sending it back to Nigeria, increasing the GDP of the nation. So that was major for us, and we submitted it as an evidence. Also, for my fashion brand, I want to believe that as an entrepreneur, you have your business registered. You need to submit your CAC documents, your tax documents, yes, our social media page. We also submitted PR. So for every product we launch, we ensure that we shared it, within the PR brand, and then uploaded it on their website. We also submitted our official bank statement. I want to believe that you are not running your business with your personal bank account. Then also your financial income statement. So that's about that. And then also accelerator programs. So especially for most entrepreneurs, a lot of us work behind the scene and our voices are not heard, or we don't even participate in accelerator programs or any entrepreneur programs. It's very, very important. And the certificates, received from it is proof that you are visible and you are recognized. So every year, ensure that you get into at least 5 or 10 programs because of cases like this. So for instance, I got into the Village Capital Future of Work Africa Accelerator. When you get into such programs, they also do PR on your behalf. Screenshot it and also attach the link. We also got into an accelerator program in British Columbia, Canada. Ensure that you and you ensure attach the image of the PR article and then also the link to that article. The certificate of completion was also given to us. I also attached it. I've attended more and more, accelerator programs, like I was on NASDAQ milestone makers. I was in several other ones. But at the time I submitted these evidences, I was not in those programs. Just to tell you that it's a journey, it's a continuous journey. You never stop. And the beauty about all of this is once you start collecting this document, you can use it to apply it for any other country, any other country PR, could be Estonia. I'm not sure Estonia request for all this information, but I know that for US green card, you can also work with this document. Also, as students impact. So whatever business you are doing, ensure that you get your student testimonial. For us, when our students get jobs, when they tell us when they thank us for the great job we've done, impacting us with the knowledge, we document it. We have a web page that all of this is documented. So that link is attached to it. When they get jobs, we also share that story on our page. It was an evidence that I submitted, and it's under the optional criteria. And I also want to speak about the accounting. If you don't have a bookkeeper, please get a bookkeeper. Ensure that your books are correct so that they can also build your income statement for you. It's important, and it helps to project you as a serious minded entrepreneur. You understand? So we did all of that. And when companies give you gifts, thank you for coming to our page and maybe to an event. Ensure that it's documented. Take the picture, put it on your social media so that when you need it, you can easily go back to it. Or it could also be on a Google Drive. But I mean, you can easily just show the world that you are participating in you are doing major work, and you are being awarded and celebrated for that. It's not going to take anything from you. Also, thought leadership. Every month or every other month, ensure you write. It's very important. I submitted about 3 or 4 articles, and I attached it because I'm a top leader in my space, right? And then also, I was invited by the World Bank IFT report to speak about closing the gender gap and the education space in Nigeria, for instance. The email that was sent to me, I screenshotted it and included it in my evidence. The thank you email, the acknowledgement in the research document where my name was written. Excuse me, I attached it, as an evidence. Then also I want to speak about the recommendation letter and my personal personal statement. So my personal statement, I spoke about my journey from graduating from my university and starting my career in tech 10 years ago, and my journey into motherhood, and how I had to take a pause, and tend to my family with 3 toddlers. And when I decided to get back to work and starting the educational brand, which is Views and Tech. So I spoke about that, and then I spoke about the fact that we have major students from the United Kingdom. So it made sense for us to come close to them so that we can capture much more people. And then also, in my space, we are in the gender space, gender equality space. We're also in the future workspace. We're also in the digital economy space. So all of these keywords, look at it, and look at what the United Kingdom is doing about it. Are they trying to advance, advance the mission? Tell them that you are excited about it. You're excited about the fact that United Kingdom has committed to maybe equipping 10 million citizens or 10 million immigrants or 10 million people. And the organization is positioned for things like this. And which is why you want to come to the United Kingdom to set up, your brand and move the company forward, because that's what they are interested in. I remember when we landed and I went to get my BRP. When the immigration officer said, "Oh, welcome to United Kingdom. I can see that you have the technician business. So what are you here for?" So I was confidently, we are here to set up our business. We actually from Nigeria, but we are moving to the United Kingdom to set up our business. So that's the essence of that visa. And you need to position yourself rightly and speak confidently. You can now decide to get there and maybe get a job for some time while building. But it's important that you position yourself as leader that you have. Then also my recommendation letter, I used 3 and then 1 optional one. So the last optional one was one of my bosses that I worked with about 10 years ago. I screenshot his recommendation on LinkedIn, and then also I asked that he write a recommendation letter to me. So what he did was, they spoke about the fact that he knew me about 10 years ago when I worked within his organization and my contribution to his organization. And now I left to other organizations and I kept in touch, and then he's really inspired by my agility You understand? And how I've evolved over the years, about the businesses that I've set up, and how I'm moving the country Nigeria forward with businesses that I've built over the years, and how it mentors me from time to time. Because you also need to show that you also need to show accountability. So for the other three recommenders, I got one in my space. So is also an Edtech founder, but we have different target audience, right? So he spoke about the fact that despite being in my space, he's inspired by my creativity. He's inspired with the fact that the agenda, which is closing the gender gap, in a space like technology where women try to shy away from it, that he appreciates the courage and the results that I've proven over the years. And he believes that I will do much more, in the United Kingdom when selected for the Global Talent Visa. That's how one of my recommenders, approached later. Then the other one, who is an HR professional, talking about the fact that she's in the talent space. She hires talent from time to time, and due to the poor level of our education system in Nigeria, she must commend me for the work I'm doing, upskilling these graduates and getting them job ready, which is what we do anyways. So, and then she believes that I'm a visionary, and she has no doubt that I would make the United Kingdom proud and push the agenda forward. Right. So you can see how all of them spoke about me. Then the last one was a brand, a fashion brand also, because it's important that you have somebody with the evidences that you show that you submitted. It's important that you have somebody work in that space as you, and can authenticate that yes, you did this. So in her own words, she spoke about the fact that despite being in an industry that is perceived to be local, that I've tried to leverage technology to turn things around in the industry, which was rare because a lot of fashion entrepreneurs are not really technology inclined, right? But I was able to do this, and I improved the income of the local weavers. I mean, I changed their lives. And she believes that with the rigor and the forward thinking skills that I have, she believes that when I move to the UK, I will definitely progress and create positive change. So that was her own angle to it. So for whatever it is you're doing as an entrepreneur, especially if you're in the fashion space or maybe you're in the development space, ensure that you understand the mission of the brand. And even if you don't understand technology, look at the ways other competitors are doing, leveraging technology to push their brand forward, and confidently speak about it. That's number one. Then number two, especially for my fashion entrepreneurs, ensure that you step away from your production site. There's more beyond making clothes. Put structure into your business so you can participate in programs. All of these programs solidify your story and helps set you apart when trying to get into a program such as the Global Talent Visa, for instance. So that's about my journey to the Global Talent Visa. I was approved within 3 months. I'm sorry, 3 weeks of submitting my evidences, and then afterwards we did our medicals and then applied for the visa, which is a 5-year visa, and I subscribed for 1 year, and then which I'll keep renewing. You understand? So the Global Talent Visa is an awesome visa. It means you're an exceptional talent, and the world should recognize that. And I personally believe that if you're an African and you're an African entrepreneur, you are doing amazingly well, and you deserve it. If you need to speak with me or send an email, for clarification, I'm happy, to hear from you and also give, feedback. So that's it from today, and I hope I create more videos. But this is my first ever video. It's not like a proper YouTube video, so I don't have like a YouTube page where I would say welcome to my YouTube page. But I'm really happy, to do all of this, and have a good day or good night wherever you are. And I wish you all the best. And if you need to upskill to understand how technology works, we have various courses for you, especially our business analyst course. We have product management, we have data governance, we have generative AI, we have cyber security, we have bioinformatics for those that are in the health industry. So yes, make sure you upskill, and I wish you all the best. Bye bye.